Can anybody identify with the winter season? And so this particular preacher believed that something great was going to happen in the earth through his life. He was going to remain true to this assignment, but he finds himself at that moment in a winter season. And he sat down with that pastor and talked with him, visited with him. The pastor put all these other so-called big-time preachers on hold and said, that young man needs to speak to him. He sat down and talked to the preacher that now has 20,000 seats throughout the city, that has a huge following. And he told him, God's going to do something in your life. You're just in a tough time right now. You're in a challenging season right now. And he said that preacher looked and said, if I could just have as many people as you have in your choir house. Just at that moment, the winter season, if we're not careful when we're going through the winter and the fall seasons of life, or maybe you're going through the hot season of the summer, where it's just a lot of pressure on you. You may have a multi-million-dollar business, and you might have multi-million-dollars worth of debt. And here you are trying to keep everything in the roll. You're trying to pay payroll. You're trying to expand. You're trying to remain humble. You're trying to give back. You're trying to help. And you're trying to be and do what God told you to do, and there's a lot of pressure. Can anybody identify with that? Can anybody identify running a company and trying to take that company to the highest hope? Not for you, but for your children and your children's children. Anybody trying to leave an inheritance in the earth? Anybody trying to leave some footprints in the sand so that when they leave, it can be a little bit better for somebody else? Anybody desires that type of passion, that type of hope in life? That's why I get up. That's why I wake up, to not only take care of me, but to make a better path for someone behind me. This particular preacher, that some now will call the great tree. This particular preacher at this moment, if I could just have as many people in your choir saying one preacher. That old preacher looked at him and said, I believe God and give me a little more. Now the end of the story is that preacher's ministry, some might say, is flourishing. One of the largest churches also in this particular nation. But not long ago, he just wanted enough people to fill up a choir stand. Sometimes in life, we forget how seeds work. And we hear this imagery of a tree, and God gives you a vision. Basically, He shows you the end now. That's all the vision is. He shows you the end now. But you're right now in the moment. And the end is all the way over there. How do you get from where you are, Jason, to where God wants you to be? How do you get to that particular place? Well, Jesus says here in the 7th verse, He says, stay where you were planted. Stay where I placed you. Allow your seed to run its course. Allow it to develop. He says clearly there, He says, if you abide in me. Now, I abide in you, Lord, and my words abide in you. Ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. Now, we can try to break this down homiletically, and we can try to say this means something else, but I think it means what it said. It means that if you will stay where I placed you, if you will stay where I planted you, if you will be true to the assignment that I gave you, if you will stay faithful to the business that I gave you, we don't need 10,000 opportunities in business. We just need the one He told us to do.